Hello, everybody. I'm Vivian McGrath from vivianmcgrath.com. And today I want to talk about why high-value women repel high-value men, relationships, people into their lives. I just got off a call with a woman, and I wanted to jump on here because she just reminded me of me. You know, when I left my toxic marriage with my ex after years of abuse and coercive control, I felt the same as this woman I just talked to does. I felt really, really scared, and I was unsure. I was very guarded. I was very hyper-vigilant, scared of who I could trust again. And this is especially because that wasn't the first relationship. This was after years of giving more to emotionally unavailable men than I ever got in return, and relationships that always just ended in heartbreak for me. So I came out of that really on hyper alert. As I said, hyper-vigilant, really guarded, really scared of everybody. I was really wary of everybody because I thought, who can I trust? And I had this sort of guard up thinking, who's the next person who's going to hurt me? Everyone I met, are they going to take advantage of me? Are they going to hurt me? Do you know that feeling? It's that fight or flight mode. And in effect, what I had was this defensive barrier that I put up around me to protect me. And if you like, an armour that I put around my heart because I wasn't going to let anybody near me. I was too scared, and most of the women that I work with now, they're the same when they come to me. They're really, really scared because every time they have let their guard down and let someone get close to them, they've been taken advantage of and hurt again. And they were even wary of me. They were very scared of trusting me as I reached out to them and showed them I wanted to connect with them, support them. And I was there to help them heal. And it's completely understandable because I see it all the time. It's so understandable. And I was the same because it's a defensive mechanism. Even years after I'd healed from that coercive control and abuse of my ex, I was the same. I thought, how can I trust myself, let alone anybody else? How can I trust, even if they're appearing to be nice and nurturing and want to help me, how can I trust that their intentions are good? And it was safer. It felt safer being behind that defensive barrier, the wall effectively that I created around myself to protect me from the potential of any narcissistic type coming near me, and that's exactly when I met my man. And by my man, I'm talking about the beautiful, high-value man who values himself, who valued me, who heard me, who saw me, who respected me right from day one, who was present for me, and who was kind towards me, not just in the words that he said, but in his actions. Yet, he was no exception. I was on guard. I was in fight or flight mode, even though everything he was showing me was the opposite. It was exactly the sort of man that I craved, that I prayed for years, all my life, even as a little girl, and longed for. And yet I was just too terrified. I was too terrified to get vulnerable and let that wall down, because how could I know if he was toxic or not? How could I trust that he wasn't just someone who was going to hurt me and take advantage of me like everybody else? How many of you know this feeling? I know there's a lot of you out there who follow me because every woman I talk to is the same. I know this. And so what did I do? I created it. I created drama. I picked fights. I saw toxicity when there was absolutely none. I saw manipulation when there was none. I imagined all this in my head. He's manipulative, he's toxic, I can't trust him. Honestly, it was incredible. I created drama, I picked fights. I thought, who am I? This is not me. In fact, I was starting to do the sort of behavior that I abhorred in my ex, who used to pick a fight so he could push me away. It was the same thing. And I was creating distance. I was putting a wall up and keeping him at arm's length, and I was really, really scared. I kept running and hiding. Every time he reached out and wanted to get close to me, I ran and hid. I couldn't deal with it. And I was really scared because I was so conflicted. As I said, here was a man who was exactly what I longed and prayed for, a high-value man who valued me, who was funny, who was nice, who was kind in his actions as well as his words, who loved me for who I was. Yet, why was I sabotaging this? Why was I pushing him away? Why was I repelling this high-value guy? And I realized now that it was out of fear. I was completely out of my comfort zone because, dysfunction, drama, putting somebody else above me, not allowing myself to have any emotions and needs and to be loved. That was my normal, and that was what I was used to. It was my comfort zone. Even though it hurt me, it was what I was familiar with. So in the absence of that, with this beautiful man, I created it. I created drama. I created fights. I created distance. I created in my head that he was a manipulator. He was toxic. All of this stuff that just wasn't true to justify why I could crawl back behind that wall and say to myself, you see, he's just the same. Because being behind that wall, that defensive barrier, that heart armour that I'd wrapped around, it was my safe zone. I felt safe there, but I want you to really understand this, because I see it in every woman I work with, and I was the same. That wall, that barrier that you put up, yes, okay, for a while it may protect you from another narcissist, but it will also repel anyone good who can come into your life, friends, colleagues who can support you at work, potential mentors who can show you how to heal, and beautiful, healthy, intimate partners who can, all of these good people that you will repel are exactly the ones who can lead you towards a beautiful life and healing, and when you stay behind that wall, you will just stay alone, because it's like an energetic force. When you're behind that wall and that barrier and you're protecting yourself, I know that because this is what I did. It is like this energetic force that tells people, stay away from me. And your intention is to tell narcissists to stay away from you. But guess what it does? It tells everybody, do not come near me. I am not going to let you in because I don't trust you. And so what happens is high value people steer clear of you because they pick up that energy and they go, whoa, okay. And it becomes this thing that you create exactly what you're afraid of. You long for a nurturing, loving relationship, but you repel it. You long for someone to support you, help you to heal, but you can't trust them. You're going to push them away, And you will keep attracting narcissistic types, even though you think that you've put this wall up to repel them. You will keep attracting those narcissistic types, because the more you stay behind that guard and that defensive barrier, the longer you stay there, the more guarded and wary and distrustful you become, and the more impenetrable that wall is, the more you will just attract narcissists who love nothing better than smashing walls like that down. And you will repel the potential high value, beautiful partner that you dream of. And I know that for a fact, because that was nearly me. I almost sabotaged the best thing in life that ever happened to me. Was a man with whom I have now gone on to create a life that was way beyond what I could have ever imagined back then when I was so scared. A life of joy, of laughter, of being supported, of being lifted up, a life of adventure, a life in which every day he tells me he loves me. Every day he makes me laugh, like really, really laugh. And a man with whom I'm now just so privileged to grow old with. And as I said to these women who came with me longing, they said, I prayed to find someone like you to support me, but who then, well, I'm terrified of trusting you. I'm scared. I think you're going to take advantage of me. I'm going to push you away. I said to these women who now work with me, by the way, I said to them, it's okay. You know, I'm not here to push you to do anything. I'm not here to convince you to get out from behind that wall. If you're happy, if that's where you want to be, if you are more comfortable in that place of loneliness, dysfunction, drama, fear, that is your choice. Because the truth is, I can't help anyone who's not ready to come out from that place. And even just let that guard down a little bit. I can only help the ones who are at that point where they say, I have this wall, I have this barrier because I need to protect myself, but I am willing to just grab your hand and let it down a little bit. That's all it takes. And I said to them, what if it's possible that that's exactly why you need my support? Because I've been that guarded, hyper-vigilant, terrified, frightened girl who repelled everybody for a while. Everybody. Because I was so scared. I just put everyone at arm's length. And it almost cost me the most incredible life that I live now. So I am in a very strong position to show you safely how to take that first step, how to let the guard down just enough to feel safe, yet let somebody in to support you so that you can attract goodness, kindness, love, high value people into your life and build strong boundaries. Because when you have those, you don't need that barrier anymore. You don't need that defensiveness because you're strong within, with or without anybody. You are strong and centered and aligned. And just ask the women who did take that step, how they feel now. You know, wow, empowered, strong. That wall, the walls have come down, and out from behind that, they've emerged as really free, independent, aligned, confident, smiling women again. And I know it's overwhelming. I really, really do, because it was terrifying for me to realize, I mean, just the first step, realizing I had this massive defensive wall that was protecting me from narcissists, but actually realizing that it was repelling everyone that could be good for me in my life. It was really overwhelming. But all you need to do is take one tiny step. That's it. And the first step I would really encourage you to do is to do what the women I worked with now did, which was, and if you still feel that guardedness, if you still feel that fear, don't listen to me. I'll put the link to the video of them in the description below as well. So you can hear them tell you in their own words, I was terrified of trusting. I was praying for someone like Viv to come along and support me, but I was terrified of trusting it. Watch them and you'll know what I'm talking about. And the first tiny baby step that they took was to watch my free webinar, How to Recover from Those Toxic Relationships. Fall back in love with your life, build strong boundaries, become the woman you were born to be, and fall back in love with your life and never settle for less than you deserve again. Watch that and then let's talk. You know, I'll see you in that webinar and I've got you. You can do this. As scary as it feels, you can do this. All right, lovely to see you on the call. Let me know where you are in the world. I always love to hear where you are. And let me know if that's helpful for you and where you are right now. What are your fears? What if it's possible that one thing you fear is exactly why you need to step out of your comfort zone and reach out for support. All right, lots of love, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for those who've joined me live today. Bye for now.